Welcome to Oops All Segments, the very best podcast hitting your eardrums at this very moment. I am Kevin.
I'm Thomas, and today we're here with special guest. You know her from comedy in Chicago. It's Laura Dellis. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's a pleasure.
Bing bong.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Laura.
We like to pay tribute to Riley's imaginary friend at the beginning of each episode, Bing Bong.
Miss him. I love him every day.
Truly,
I think about him all
not
the
a
time.
joke. One of the most devastating things I've ever seen is that Bing Bong scene. I had a yellow blanket named Yotto growing up who may be featured in the chuppah in my wedding because I still have him. And
Oh
so
my God.
saying goodbye, the death
What
of
is-
an imaginary friend.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What is a chuppah?
A chuppah is kind of a Jewish arch that's usually homemade for a Jewish wedding. So it often will contain some kind of material that you've made yourself. And so I thought if I could include my beloved childhood blanket, that might make it more personally meaningful. Obviously, Kevin's finding out for the first time that I am Jewish, which is why he's so kind of disturbed by this information.
It's good to know this now.
Good. It's good. I didn't know we were having a Zionist wedding.
It's not Zionist. So Kevin does this thing that he equates the two.
Yeah.
He thinks that one is the other. It's
Sure.
not.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shockingly,
Yeah.
you're in Canada,
I'm a
correct?
patriot. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm one of the.
He's
I'm
one of those
51st state
Canadians
all the way,
who,
baby. Yeah.
who weighs in on American politics
Sure.
a lot and kind of like waves the flag even though it has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I have a big American flag on my car that I drive around. Yeah.
Wow. That's
I'm
really
sorry.
cool.
That is cute that you're gonna do that. You're gonna.
That's
is there
really
other sentimental pieces of material that you're planning on?
We haven't
stitching
fully
into?
decided how we're making it, and I'm a little insecure about building it. Now, my cousin Seth, who will be at the bachelor party, is a great builder, and I might actually employ him at the party. In fact, we were talking about Thomas games at the party. I thought maybe everyone tries their hand at making a chuppah, and the best one is the one we use. But that might be insane.
You fucking sneaky bastard. You're gonna get all of us to make your fucking wedding arch at your bachelor party.
Yeah.
And then you're
That's
gonna be like,
exactly what you
yeah.
should do.
And each of us are gonna have to fucking make centerpieces at your bachelor party, and then
I mean, actually, we are doing like DIY bud vases so that everyone decorates their own tables. So yes, Kevin, we are employing our talented friends. I will say, because I'm watching Taskmaster lately, that might have given me the idea of like a 15-minute chuppah. Of it would be fun watching a bunch of like tipsy, incompetent theater kids try to build something. I think that could be pretty interesting.
I'm on board. I'll throw my hat in the chuppah ring. Have you ever been part of a chuppah making scenario before, Laura?
Well, if I had a nickel, the amount of times I've been asked that.
Not that you've done it, just that people are constantly asking.
They're always asking me to do it, and I'm busy. Like I have a lot to do, but people, I guess I kind of have this special thing that I do with my chuppahs. But no, that was a bit. Actually, I actually have not been asked. I know that's shocking. I have not been asked.
Yeah.
And I would be honored if I may. I'd love to come to the bachelor party.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Obviously,
Just hop on in there.
this was a
This is
soft
how-
launch to see if you could hang.
Yeah.
So we'll see how the episode.
We
All right.
just had a dropout, so we're sort of trying to fill a spot.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my test. All right.
That's what this
Laura,
podcast has been for 170 plus episodes, is us vetting different people to come to the Thomas's bachelor party.
Oh
pretty
my
much.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm
Way to
honored.
fill the
Absolutely
void
honored.
in my heart. But Laura,
Yeah.
that was kind of a check-in for me. What has been going on in your life lately?
I'm a busy little bee. I have to work every single day. I work every single day, and I still don't have any money. So that's kind of a thing. The
that's
old
the
riddle, if you will, of America.
Yeah.
There's not actually another day I can work. And yet,
And yet,
I'm
I
somehow
don't
broke.
have any. Yes, exactly. It's so I worked
Yeah.
today. let's see. I had Subway for lunch, and that's my favorite place in the whole world. I love Subway.
Oh, okay. Order.
I would never say that on a podcast. I would never.
It's a secret. It's too
private.
It's too personal.
Too personal. I don't know who's listening to this, and it's just that's like asking like, where do you want to be buried? You know, like it's just it's those personal questions.
Sorry. I'm sorry that I brought that up because that is
how dare you, Thomas?
That wasn't my writer when you sent the email. I told you not to ask about that, and you did it anyway. So
Subway, non-descript, your favorite place in the world,
the whole wide world.
And Thomas and I used to have weird experiences in Subways together.
Oh yeah, we did have a couple. Like we ran into a couple of drunks at a Subway once.
Yeah.
You got it. You were going at kind of the party time. They have kind of a party happy hour, if you will.
So it's kind of the vibe at 2:15 a.m.
Gave new meaning to the word party sub. I was like, oh, I didn't realize we were really gonna party around this sub.
No.
Well, you can have fun there. You can have fun
back to what Laura was saying, Thomas.
Finish your. Sorry. Yeah, you have.
No, I didn't really have much more to add. I'm just tired and I'm working and I'm juggling all the time. I just juggle a bunch of different things.
Can I ask what you do for work, or is that as secretive as your sub?
No, I'll shout it to the heavens. I've never been more proud of anything in my life.
That might be why you're broke.
That was not bad.
I was like, if you're doing what you love, that's probably why you're not making it.
You did tell us, Laura, about a cool job that you do in secret.
Yes. So my other ones are I'm a supervisor at a restaurant, and then I'm a supervisor at a gym, which I like the gym. The restaurant's kind of not going too great, but that's okay. But the kind of the fun one is I do voices for the radio.
Oh, that's
so
fun.
I'm not supposed to say this. So Thomas, if I get fired from this, I'm blaming it on you.
We can cut it. You didn't reveal your Subway order, but you're sharing something that could get you fired.
You definitely shouldn't. Yeah,
don't share. Just tell me it's like sweet onion chicken teriyaki
mayonnaise. But yeah.
Well, anyway, I do something for the radio. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I do something for the radio, and I get to play different characters and whatnot, depending on what I need to do. And so that's kind of fun. So you can kind of do that. But that's very much like when they need me or whatever. So that's not really a reliable source of income, you know?
Sure.
But yeah, I just bounce between all these jobs, and then I'll perform at night. I do a bunch of comedy. I have my own like solo show and whatnot. So yeah, and I get to go to New York in like 2 weeks, so I'm excited to go back to New York and perform. And so we're trucking along.
Catch a glimpse at Big Zozo.
Yes, Mondamis, New York.
Zozo's pedals.
I've never been.
You've never been to Mamdani? You haven't been to New Yorkistan, I think is what they're calling it now.
New Yorkistan is what they're calling it now.
As soon as we found out,
wait.
As soon as we found out his wife used the N-word when she was a teenager, Laura bought tickets to New York.
I gotta get me over there.
No, wait.
No.
Whoa.
And look, if the first thing you said wasn't gonna get you fired, we'll work harder.
So offensive, right?
Open up!
Thomas!
Canvas exploded again. Now, Laura, Kevin, you don't know this, but Kevin actually owns a couple of restaurants in Winnipeg. So if you have any anger or resentment towards like restaurant jobs, restaurant owners at all, like Kevin is the target for sure. You can vent that.
So much resentment.
It is true that people in my line of work are by and large horrendous people. I table the thought of my check-in today being about I'm in a group chat with like probably 30 other restaurant owners in the city of Winnipeg. Typically speaking, it's for like supplies, hey, does anyone have any of this on the weekend? I don't have this, yada, yada.
Right.
Sometimes it's about other stuff. And it's most unfortunate times. It's about like political grievances, of which I would say 9 times out of 10, I don't agree with the majority of these people. But it's just it's an interesting and insight into like how other people in my position think. I mean, I just think it is a very abusive industry, and there's a lot of, and it's even worse in America, from what I understand.
That's why you got into it, right? Because you thought it was abusive, and you were like, I have
sort of a thing,
I
thought
cattle, as it were. That's why I, as a woman, went into that because I just felt like,
there's a sort of a masochism, sadism thing. Yeah.
It's not like there's a lot of industries that treat you well that you had the option to kind of
you're not sitting around. There's not like hard choices. But anyway, I've been super busy with work for my check-in because we launched a new menu at the restaurant. But what I actually wanted to bring up, Thomas, is that there's another instance. I hate beating a dead horse. You know, I hate beating a dead horse more than anybody else. But I have to say, our enemies over at Headgum, the now like fledgling podcast company.
So let's quickly just fill Laura in. So Laura, Jake and Amir, have you heard of them? They're kind of internet comedians.
Yeah, I feel like they're familiar, but I don't.
Yeah, used to be College Humor, did a web series.
That's good.
Yeah, if I may.
Kevin just played.
Honestly, to be a guest.
Yeah.
We should have them on as a guest. To be honest, I haven't listened to the show. Sorry for saying we were going to steal, then actually stealing. Joking steal becomes real steal. That's my bad.
So Jake and Amir started a podcast. They ended an old podcast, and Thomas and I had sent them a theme song, and we talked about Oops All Segments, our show.
We plugged our podcast by sending a free theme song for them to use on theirs. And when we plugged Oops All Segments, they joked on that episode, that's actually a good idea. We should steal that, which we laughed. We thought that was quite funny. Then they end their podcast, which was called If I Were You. And about 6 months later, they launched a new podcast called Segments. And it's exactly the same as our podcast. Now,
it's important to note, we've looked up to these guys like our whole like growing up comedy careers. And obviously it's like not, they didn't actually fucking steal our idea, but they did actually steal our idea. Yeah. And so then we became like friends with people who work at Headgum, and then they fired those people. Not because of us. That makes it sound like it's because of it. Not because of us.
Sure.
There's a bunch of layoffs at their company, and now Jake and Amir have left the company and ended their Segments podcast while ours pathetically continues.
Yes, yeah.
We only made this to get their attention in the first place. And
now the other person that I like in that sphere is a comedian named Jeffrey James, who hosts a podcast previously known as the Headgum Podcast. But they've started a new podcast, which is just the Headgum Podcast under a different name and a different brand on the Jake and Amir Studios network, which is a podcast network, and it's called That's Funny. Now, people who are really deep in the Thomas and Kevin lore will know that Thomas and I have a rap song together called That's Funny, featuring another friend, Daniel. But it's on my second comedy album that I think you might be able to you might be able to find it on Bandcamp.
If my favorite website.
Yeah, of course.
And although the album is called comedy, this is not comedy rap, but sincere rap.
But there is a comedy song on the comedy album
called That's Funny.
Yes. And you can still find, I'll link it because I just found the link. So once again, they've stolen from us. But secondly, I'm just trying to kind of create a scandal from a rap song that I that I did back like, a good 20, 15 years, 10, however long ago it was, 10 years ago.
100.
Because Afroman has somehow come back into the cultural zeitgeist as a hero. So I'm kind of trying to do an Afroman of myself. That's why I'm bringing up my old rap history.
Wow.
Can we play a sample of That's Funny on the show?
I think so. Yeah, let me just
She's clearly really interested in hearing.
I know, I'm riveted. No, I am, Thomas. I'm riveted by this.
Okay,
and I would love to hear it. This was your dream. This was
That's loud. Is that? Oh wait. The chorus is really okay.
I don't know if we should link to it.
That's funny. Ha ha. That's funny. Ooh, that's funny. That's a good one, bitch. Ooh, that's funny. Ha ha. That's funny. Ooh, that's funny. You're a funny motherfucker. Ooh,
That's funny.
okay.
That's funny.
All right.
That's funny.
That's a good one.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And so on.
Yeah.
You didn't get to hear my part
You
yet.
want me to? Do you want me to bring up your part?
Let's see if we could get a quick sample of my verse.
That was not even me. That's
We heard a little bit from you though.
Yeah, you heard me
Some
getting
sort
my
of hyped man sounds.
Laura, takes on that first part, by the way.
Yeah, what do you think so
Takes
far?
on it. How do you describe an inspiration? You know, how do you describe something that's just so powerful that it's hard to put into words what I just listened to?
Yeah.
But it's what we call a hat on a hat. And that's really what I love about it.
All right, well, let's see if we can stack another chapeau on top of that.
You're a funny motherfucker.
Ooh, that's funny, bitch. Ooh, that's funny.
So long, the chorus. It looks like it's only this because we're at 2 minutes in and it's still playing.
Nope. What is that? Where's
from me? You spinning cause I'm sick.
That's funny.
I'm college. That's funny. You laughed your ass off, so I recharged the battery. My raffle waffle truffle feed your whole enlarged family. String bean rapper, all my bars are so clitoral. Pitiful how every LOL I read is literal.
Wow, so I said string bean rapper, all my bars are clitoral.
Literal.
Really
Literal.
disgusting and not a word, I don't think.
No, it's a word.
Oh yeah, clitoral stimulation. Right, you're right. Never mind.
It counts.
Let's just hear a little more from Thomas here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Ate a bowl of AIDS, had Reese's for breakfast.
Nope. Now, that's a rhesus monkey pun because the rhesus monkey is responsible for the spreading of AIDS. Now, eating a bowl of AIDS does not seem... But it's actually pretty clever. I mean, it's very fucked up that I wrote it.
No, it's incredibly clever, Tom.
Thank you.
The jack of all trades, I'm facetious and reckless. Species is feckless. I'm just the newest model. With one hand in my pubic hair, 1 foot on the throttle. At a party.
What?
That line about
What does that mean?
I don't
One hand
know.
in my pubic hair, 1 foot on the throttle. Now, am I being like Al Bundy? Why am I have one hand tucked in my pants?
So you're not driving, not jacking off while driving, just driving
No.
in sort of.
Just
One
kind of
hand in
pat
my
your,
pubic
yeah,
hair.
your, just kind of your hand there for comfort.
1 foot on the throttle.
I'm a smarty, pass the beer and I'll pucker. I'm ratchet the way that I nurse that motherfucker.
Pretty good line.
Meet a kinky girl, she is raising my hopes. Didn't understand bondage till she showed me the ropes.
Also good line, I
Pretty
think.
good.
Very
Credit
50
for that
Shades
one.
of You there, Thomas.
Yeah, she
very
showed me the
50 Shades.
ropes. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, super.
Couldn't
should probably
clown
stop.
anymore
No, we don't have-
if I lived in an anemone. Cheer till your throat sore, fisherman's enemy. This is all imaginary, stop all my pretenses. I just is in my eye.
Yes, I'm coming to my senses.
Wow.
Anyway.
So I jizzed in my eye. I guess I'm coming to my senses. Here's the final line there.
You should play that for some of your clients.
My clients to show that it could always get worse.
First.
You are not at rock bottom yet, my friend. Listen to where I used
There's
to
always
be.
somewhere deeper to go.
Well, wow. It feels like we
Thank
brought
you
you on
for
the show
playing that.
just to tell you about our lives. Like we have.
This 19 minutes and 41 seconds has just been a treat.
Yeah, well.
To see your highs, to see your lows.
Yeah.
It's all downhill from here. So you've seen all the highs.
Let's spin the
Should we
wheel,
spin the wheel,
and
Thomas?
maybe
Yeah.
get away from my
Maybe things will
rap
get better.
career.
Papa yeah.
Crime. Participants must recount a story involving crime. So each of us is going to share potentially a crime we committed, a crime we observed, a crime that we heard about, but somehow we must each share a story that involves crime.
Okay.
Laura, quick question. Does crime pay, yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you, correct.
I get to say
You can begin the segment. Yes.
Oh, there's okay, so my cousin I shouldn't say his name. My cousin is kind of he's been known to play with the law a little bit.
Okay.
Infamously, he's kind of the bad boy of the Dellis family because my last name is Dellis. And he forever it was kind of a known thing that he was selling the pills and he was selling things out on the streets. Sure. But he started to make all this money.
He was plug.
He was yes, exactly. And he started to get all these tattoos, and he got like this razor blade on the side of his the side of his super cool side of his head. Super cool. And he got these fur coats. He was fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So he came to Christmas. Fur coats.
Okay. Fur coats, face tattoos. Yeah, okay.
That's honestly, he sounds so cool.
He was so freaking cool.
He's so awesome.
He is if I could be him someday. So he came to Christmas one year and he said, "Hey Laura, I got you a present, but I can't give it to you inside. You have to come outside to give it." So I'm in freshman year high school. And I infamously I did not drink until I was in my early 20s. I still don't do drugs. I'm very much I don't do that stuff. And especially back then, my anxiety level was so high with that stuff. So I was but I was so interested in what's going to happen. So I go up to my dad and I go, "Hey, hey, cousin."
We can bleep it. Kevin, let's mark 2240.
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry.
Because he's one of my biggest fans. I just want
let's get the last name. We'll bleep that too. But I guess Dellis, probably.
You can say
just
Dellis,
so that we can send it off to the.
He's a cousin, so his last name isn't actually Dellis.
Okay,
great. So it's fine. So anyway, I said, "Hey, this guy wants me to go out into the not parking lot, but into the driveway." And so that's where I'm gonna go. So I go out and it's snowy. It's Christmas, Minnesota, Christmas. It's beautiful. And he's at the end of the driveway. And he has a little cigarette. And I put my little coat on and I hobbled down the street. And I went, "Hey, I'm ready for my present now." And he said, "Okay." And he reaches into his jacket, and I thought, "Oh my God, it's gonna be like a bag of heroin," and because that's how they come. It's a needle.
One serving of heroin.
I'll take one serving of heroin, please. He pulls out
one heroin, please.
He goes, "Oh, I got this for you." It was a Banana Republic gift card.
Somehow far more sinister than the drugs.
He hands it to me.
And chops up some coke with it and then gives it back.
And also Banana Republic is infamously for middle-aged women. So it was
not like a
interesting choice.
If it was a Spencer gift card or whatever, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, there's something
Hot mama."
Sort of,
I don't know, and then he said there's $75 on there. I said $75 to Banana Republic.
Pretty generous.
Super generous. And then I went
don't
inside.
Think he bought this gift card. I have a feeling he didn't walk into a Banana Republic and pay $75 for the gift card for some reason. I just don't see it don't see
one
him
of his
being
customers
like,
maybe traded this for
Banana
pills.
Republic.
Certainly, yes. Somebody was like, "Look, I don't have any fucking money, but I do have this $75 Banana Republic gift card I stole from someone. Can I have?"
Oh
some
my
pills?"
God, I didn't even think about that. I just pictured him going into Banana Republic.
What do you fucking mean? This guy's not going to Banana Republic. I don't even know him. I don't even know
They do
you.
not
and I
sell
know
fur
that's not
coats at
happening.
Banana Republic, Laura.
Maybe he was at the mall and he was nearby, and I don't know. But it was so funny. It was so mysterious the way I was asked to
That's
go
a scary
outside.
moment.
I went inside and I said, "Look what I got," and everyone was incredibly jealous.
That is nice.
I mean,
Do you
yeah.
remember what you bought with it? Do you remember what you got with it?
Well, the thing is, Banana Republic's pretty expensive, so that was like probably a shirt sleeve, maybe, or
right.
a collar.
Yeah. You can get.
It's a la carte there. You have to buy each piece of the clothing.
A button.
Yeah.
So,
Assembled. It's like the IKEA. You have to assemble it yourself.
That's
exactly.
such a classic, though. Like that long walk down the driveway to your cousin. Just him smoking ominously, and you're so scared, and then he reaches deep into the coat. I mean, it's such a like movie moment.
It was, and I remember clocking it and being like, "This is such a movie. Like, this is insane."
Yeah.
It's very dramatic.
I was kind of struggling to come up with a specific memory because there's sort of an underpinning of criminal behavior throughout my entire childhood. My family was involved in. My father was like a pimp and a gangster, kind of to a degree. More pimp than gangster, certainly, but definitely not neither of those two things. So, and so I was around some interesting stuff growing up. But only here and there. And so the thing I was thinking of when you mentioned that, because it was driveways and smoking, it was a New Year's Eve party, and I was at my dad's house. I don't know if I was living there at the time or not. But my dad had this nice big house, and I have two kind of half brothers who are my brothers. I treat them like my regular brothers, but they lived there, and there's this big New Year's Eve party, and Ravi, who's 8 years older than me, my older brother, is out on the driveway with a bunch of his friends hanging out. And one of his friends has brought what was a massive joint, marijuana joint. And at the time, I'd grown up very like, you can't, like, drugs is super bad, which is crazy because my dad was living an insane life, but it was like very like, you will die if you do any drug ever. You're gonna end up an addict, and it's gonna ruin your life, and you can't touch this stuff. So it's very, very anti-drug messaging. And I have this very distinct memory of my brother, Ravi, holding up the marijuana joint, calling me over and showing me it and making me sniff it, and then telling me that if he ever smelled that on me, he would kick my ass, which is hilarious now, because we're business partners and I'm a huge stoner. So
he kicks your ass every day.
Every day.
That's why you're covered in bruises.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that was about.
Yeah. So and at the time it was criminal behavior because marijuana was not yet legal in Canada. Now it is legal. So
suddenly when he needs to come up with a new crazy ice cream, it's actually helpful to have a stoned business partner. Kevin runs an ice cream parlor, so you need a little bit of the devil's lettuce to create that new menu, don't you? What if we put Smarties in this, and his mind is blown?
Definitely helped with the s'mores poutine was definitely something I came up with when I was stoned. Yeah. That's a real idea.
You write it off. It's a business expense for you.
It is a business expense. It allows your brain to go to places you never could have imagined.
Yeah, well, my dealer, though, he sort of ghosted me because he stopped accepting my Banana Republic gift cards. He said he never knew to give them to.
Call back.
Yeah. The other memory I have is that I was watching. I remember distinctively sitting in a what some might describe as a rub and tug, sitting in the waiting room of that area and watching the television series Timon and Pumbaa, which was a spin-off of The Lion King, without the original voice cast, to my knowledge. But I do remember being disappointed that I had to leave and stop watching it. And I just keep thinking about how there must have been at one point during that experience of me being locked into the television, another man waiting for service in there while just Timon, a child, watched Timon and Pumbaa beside him. And I feel like that must have been not been the exact right primer.
Yeah,
I can't imagine most of the time that was the content on the TV in the lobby.
How would you like your massage? Can we do slimy yet satisfying?
Pumbaa, not in front of the children.
Can we do the Cat in the Hat, please?
You guys have Hey Arnold by chance?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about
it's
you?
It's very 824.
Yeah. So I dreaded going after you, Kevin. I knew I wouldn't be able to measure up. So I'm actually going to pivot and instead just talk about a crime I recommend. I'm not going to say whether or not I have done this crime, but I'm going to say it's a strong recommend. So there is an app called Stremio that I've heard about on Reddit. It's a legal app. You can get it on your smart TV. It's like a streaming organizing app. And there is an extension you can get for it called Torrentio, which is less legal. And then there is something called a real debrid service, which basically protects your IP address and helps you to organize a lot of different torrent files from the internet. So if you use all of these, you do have to pay for the real debrid, but it's cheaper than any streaming service. And you can set it up on your smart TV and you will have free access to largely pre-downloaded, you don't need to like load them, torrents of every movie, every TV show, things as they're coming out fresh. And you can replace all your expensive subscriptions with this one service. And if you're interested, there's a Reddit thread explaining Stremio, Torrentio, the basics. And I've been telling people about it because it seems really cool. I, of course, do not use it. I am against crime, but I think others can make their own decisions.
Yeah, Thomas has famously been anti-crime.
Anti-crime.
Yeah.
That's where we differ. And I've always told you that.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, that's cool.
FBI, open up!
Stop it!
No, they found us.
It's kind of like back in the day where they used to do like the pirated movies and stuff like that. Like my dad used to have somebody at work who would do that, and we would get all the movies before, like as they were in the theaters and stuff. Yeah. That's kind of what it reminds me.
I remember I used to have a cousin who had a CD binder, like a binder of burned DVDs of different.
My dad still has
movies.
those.
Yeah, and
but
then like
I think
also
like
video games, that was like a thing when you could like break the PlayStation.
I've never done the pirated games thing, but I really think streaming services have put us into this position by being so expensive, and everyone only has like one show or one movie you actually want to see.
Classic. I mean, people called this shot years ago. The people were saying it's going to become like cable because there's going to be the prices are going to get super high, and then there's going to be like a consolidation thing that comes around. It's going to be like, remember when our parents, I don't know, you guys my parents were always stealing satellite. They were always like, there was some like DivX satellite thing, and you know, it's like stealing cable, stealing satellite. It's just like it's the nature of this type of thing. It's the cycle.
They pushed it too far. Yeah.
Sorry, capitalists. We're gonna take it now. It's okay. They're all gonna be one fucking company in like a week anyway.
I think as I've heard proposed, there should be one website called TV and one website called movies. They should all be on those. You pay for that. I'm happy to do that. But let's get rid of all these stupid competing services. They suck.
For sure.
No,
I couldn't agree more.
Seemingly trying to get worse and worse.
No, and every day there's a new streamer. You want to watch one movie, and that's not on. Yeah, totally. I'm interested to see if anyone will do that, Thomas. I want to see
if anyone will try. Yeah, I wonder if that sounds appealing, like paying about $15 for 3 months of access to everything, and it's instant and it's high quality. And
my God, that's a heavy savings.
Yeah,
in this economy, do you have any idea the amount of money I spend on streaming?
Yeah,
the amount of money
crazy. I wonder if it might be worth looking into for anyone.
Yeah. Maybe. Or maybe we are criminals and are going to be going to jail.
That's
bada
funny.
bing, bada boom.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, Caitlin. We're the co-hosts of a little podcast called Gimme That D.
Did that get your attention?
It's a Disney Channel original movie breakdown podcast.
We are breaking down all of your favorite childhood movies that aired on the Disney Channel from 96 to 06, the golden age of cinema.
Duh. We are two F-list comedians with a lot of A-list comedian friends, and together we break down and celebrate these absolutely batshit crazy films.
So we're talking aloof parents,
inexplicable plots,
bold cuts responsible for sexual awakenings the world over.
And we ask the hard-hitting journalistic questions like, what the fuck is this?
And could we have maybe taken a second pass at that script?
But we love them.
Oh, God, yes.
So listen to us wherever you get your podcasts.
To stay in the know of what movie we're covering each week and who our guest is, follow us on Instagram at GMTDpod.
Yeah, but for real, do it.
Smoke weed. Hey, damn, son, where'd you find this?
We're back. Laura, do you have a segment for us?
I do. Okay, so a lot of my comedy deals with women going on dates, and specifically really bad dates through the apps and whatnot. And I'm always just interested in the male perspective of it all. So because I just hear the most horrendous stories. I've gone on so many bad dates, like it's just insane. I've created so much comedy from it, and it's wonderful, but it also is like so sucking. And now I have a wonderful boyfriend, and hopefully that will never have to happen again. But I wanted to go back, and I wanted to see if y'all have a bad date story or bad dating experience. I want to hear. And it can be through the apps, or it can be without the apps. I want to hear.
Totally.
Now, Laura, do you want me to describe myself taking someone on a bad date, or a bad date that I was on where they are the cause of the badness? Because I can more easily do the first one.
Yeah, do the first one. No, I want to hear it. Thank you for asking.
I'm very curious about this. Okay, go on, T.
I would love to hear your perspective on it. Because I know when I've gone on a bad date, often within the first probably minute, you go, "This isn't the person that I was excited about. This is a different person."
Kind of an audition, right?
It is.
It's like, within 30 seconds, you're like, no,
it's not. And now you've wasted. Now you have to stay here for at least an hour. Depending on what you're doing or getting a drink or whatever. So, I would love to hear your perspective from that, and how you maybe maneuvered your way out earlier, or like why wasn't it going good? What did they do? Anything crazy like that?
Yeah. So I don't have in terms of like a crazy thing that happened on a date. I weirdly, and this is probably some amount of my male privilege, as you're saying, that I can't think of like an insane treatment I received. I do have a great breakup story, which I probably told on the podcast before, which was insane. But the two things I can think of are Kim recently told me that on our first date and after, I claimed that because this is so embarrassing, because of my feminist beliefs, that I did not believe in paying for any of the meals, including the very first date, and that it was more egalitarian to split the check.
Feminist alert! Feminist alert!
And now look, we are getting married, so it all worked out.
Oh my God!
Not even the first date. Not even the first date. And I actually think if you look back at the time we started dating, there was a little bit of discourse that year about how not splitting the check was a little.
In 20, what the fuck? It was fucking in vogue to be like, I'm a feminist, so you buy me dinner.
She didn't have to pay for all of it. She bought herself dinner. I was like, you're a strong, independent woman. You can pay for your half.
Hey, Toots, buy me a drink.
Yeah.
So that's pretty bad. My other really, really shameful memory is My third date with my previous long-term girlfriend, I believe I was coming out of a bad set, or I had some bad relationships prior to this. And so I felt it was important to like feel that I could be fully myself and be accepted, because I was scared of like having to hide parts of myself in a relationship, which is healthy and fine. What wasn't healthy was sitting her down and showing her every Flash animation cartoon I made when I was a teenager, all of them, and my short films I made with my cousin and friends when I was younger, so that I could give her my full filmography to kind of prove that I wouldn't
that
be
shit
rejected.
is really offensive too.
Yeah,
it
was pretty dated.
I had a guy do that to me once. He
No.
pulled up he made me come sit by him, and I was like, oh my God, we're so close. But then he said, I'm going to pull up my YouTube. I want you to watch some of these videos I made when I was a kid. And I had to sit in the restaurant and like be like, oh, cool.
In the restaurant is crazy too. It wasn't even in privacy.
In the middle of the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yes.
300, but with dicks, but it's playing out of the fucking speaker of his phone. Yeah. That's nuts.
Oh,
yeah.
honey.
Pretty embarrassing. But I have shared my truth.
Let it be known.
Yeah. That is a fresh one. You know, I fear that any of these stories are going to pale in comparison to what I imagine the typical sort of feminine experience of dating might be. But I've been up until like I was like a serial monogamist. I'd been called. I would go from one long-term relationship to another quite consecutively in my young adulthood. So I don't really. I'm sure in the midst of that courtship for some of those processes, there were some awkward dates, but I don't remember the details. But in my adulthood, because I did end up on the Thomas, you never went on the apps, right? You never ended up.
I did. No, I did when I was in LA. I had
what apps were you
on the apps? I was on Coffee Meets Bagel, which is horrible. I never met anyone on that one.
Coffee Meets Bagel?
Yeah, I never.
It's like you get like a little seed, right?
I used like yeah, it's very weird. You get like a limited number of moves a day, basically, and it just didn't really work. The one I had most success with was actually OkCupid for whatever reason, because of the compatibility percentages.
Oh yeah,
I think I don't. Yeah,
I went on dating apps. I met my current partner
what
on
do you
dating.
do? Match.com.
J
I used
Date.
Lava Life actually. Yeah. But yeah, no, I met my current partner Kara on Bumble actually over the pandemic. But previous to that, I did have a stint on the apps when the world was not shut down.
Sure.
And
what apps were you on?
I was on Tinder, I was on Bumble, I was on I think I might have gotten Hinge, but I don't think it had quite become that thing that it was. So I was just really on those two. And you know, like kind of it was so gamified that it didn't even really feel real. And like, at least for me, the experience was pretty it would take a long time to make any matches or anything like that. And then eventually I did, and there was a period of time where it also got like super bot heavy. So then it was like, okay, what's the point of this? Yes. But I had a few like weird experiences through the apps on dates. Probably the strangest, I actually just think this girl probably wasn't ready to be dating on the apps, or maybe she was. I think she might have been just trying to hook up, and I'll explain why. And that was not what we had been talking about. So she messaged me. We were talking back and forth. I don't remember which app we met on. I think it was Tinder, but which also like that's pretty hookup-y to begin with.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah. But this was years ago when it was like the biggest dating app still. Like before Bumble had really disrupted it all.
Maybe the dating app to be on.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
And especially like you got to remember I'm in Winnipeg. So like we're a little behind the times here with tech. Like it takes a while for something culturally to like catch up here. And then also it's like it is a limited community. So it's like there is only certain things make it out here. We only have a population of about 800,000 people in the city, which is a lot for a small, like for what we are, but it's also nothing compared to most cities, larger cities in Canada. So, anyhow, I'm on Tinder. I go out on this date with this girl. Now, the first thing that was weird is that she was like kind of insistent that I pick her up, which I thought was like, kind of unusual because I'm like, let's meet somewhere, right? It's a fucking dating app. You don't want to what are we doing? But she wanted me to pick her up, so I did, and we went to a bar, and then she got drunk. She didn't look exactly like her pictures, but like she just chose some particularly good pictures. I don't think she was like lying. I just think it was like kind of highlights, which I'm like not gonna fault you for, right? Like whatever. But the vibes weren't there right away. I was like, this is gonna be one of those evenings where we just kind of grind it out, but I'll get to know her in this nice, whatever. She got trashed at dinner, absolutely wasted. And this is what I mean. Like, I don't think she was ready for this. She got super drunk. Then she's like trying to get me to go to a second bar, and then like I just drove her home because I was like, once she gets drunk, I'm like, okay, I gotta slow up here. I'm just gonna play it smart, take her home, not be crazy. Like, so I take her home. She's like, you don't want to come upstairs? I'm like, no, I'm good. She leaves, and then she sends me like 12 text messages just giving me entire shit for not like coming inside, I guess. And she got so mad at me, and then I
Which, blocked for the record, would not have really been okay. So it's funny to get like yelled at for doing the bare minimum ethical responsibility. You fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. I suppose I imagine her true desire was that I would also have gotten very intoxicated, and then we all
even
both
so, I mean,
together. But that's at least a gray area, and I think definitely not. Yeah, so she's just giving me shit, and I'm sure she was just going through her own shit at the time, but it was a. So that, and you see, this is what I mean. It pales in comparison. I didn't feel threatened. I just made a responsible little dumb choice, and was like, yeah. I once had a girl come over from that was definitely on hookup vibes. Come over for from Tinder, and she came to my place, and she got there, and immediately I was like, don't look like your picture. Vibes are not here. And she's at my house, right? She's in my house now. I don't know what to do. So we just hang out, and I sit at the opposite end of the living room from her. We listen to music for like an hour. I'm like, cool. I gotta work in the morning, so she bounced. And that was it.
It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, it was fucking terrible. Fucking terrible. Yeah, those are mine. So you see, that was small potatoes, right?
I know, but those are so silly. I like those. I like those stories because they're really not that bad. And you guys are such obviously good guys, so they're really not bad stories.
The biggest threat to men on dating apps is being scammed out of money. It's not like getting put on. It's not like getting attacked or assaulted in any way. It's just
I don't think, for the record, that's what Laura wanted us to talk about. No. Stories in which we'd been attacked.
Well,
I just mean but even dates going bad. I mean, the worst it can go is that somebody's going to take my social insurance number.
But did you have a funny moment in mind, Laura, that you wanted to share?
Yeah.
Well, where do I begin? I light a cigarette.
She's got a gift card.
I started with a gift. Anybody ever been to Banana Republic?
Banana Republic. That's what I call these pictures I get from Tinder.
Hey yo.
Unsolicited.
Yeah. Well, before I met the huge bummer is I actually met my beautiful boyfriend on these apps.
That's okay. Everyone does.
No, it's not okay. It's embarrassing.
All right. Because lightly, I just told you I met my girlfriend on the apps. Right?
No, I wanted to say something, but I was being I'm just kidding. No, right. It's just it's so funny that after all of these years of me bashing on these stupid fucking apps, that this is where I would meet. So it actually worked, and I'm like, it's so annoying. But before he popped in, it took me about 6 years of going on these apps and I was on Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge, and I would just bounce around because everyone's like, you need to find somebody, your eggs are dying, so I was trying to get that classic
I have been wanting to talk to Thomas about saying that to people, but
I'm sorry, I think it's
Thomas
important to know.
Thomas actually said it at rehearsal the other night.
At auditions, I clocked it instantly. The biological clocked it.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
Yeah.
No, so I actually have I have 3 short stories. So one was Connor from Hinge. We went to this pizza place. I now know that you should never really go out for food on a first date because then you're stuck. So if you don't get the vibe, you know, then hopefully you're getting your
one drink or a coffee is easy to be like, cool. Boom.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. And usually my bill's being paid for unless it's Thomas. So at least I got that going for
Sorry.
me. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I
we
believe in
Feminist
equality.
alert.
Yeah.
So I was not getting the vibes. It was a really uncomfortable date. He just like, I was kind of leading the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. I go, at the end, we finish our pizza. I go, okay, great. This was great. You can ask me one more question.
You say
And
this
then I
to
gotta
him?
go.
Wait. You're like, you get one more.
That's also
These
like
guys-
something you say to a preschooler. Like,
And this
We
guy,
have to
you
go to
know
bed
what he's
after
thinking.
this.
He's like, what is the one question I can ask to fix it all? Right? How do
Yeah.
I
And then
like?
he got really shy. And I went, oh my God, he's going to ask me out again. And I went, not going to happen. But it's so sweet that he's so concerned. And he got really nervous. And then he's like, I can't ask it. And I said, well, please, I'm asking. You can say it. You can say it. And then he's like, no, I'm not going to. And then I was getting kind of annoyed because I was like, well, you obviously want to ask it. So just ask it. What's the big deal? And then he takes a deep breath and he goes, how many Skittles do you think you could fit in your asshole?
Whoa!
what the fuck? Getting really shy is so funny. Like, I know I shouldn't, but I do have one thing I've been meaning to ask.
Oh, little old me with a question for you.
Well, if you twist my arm, I suppose I will.
How many Skittles can you shove up your bunghole?
What a fucking...
That's crazy.
What a
Well, then I
psychotic
said-
piece of shit.
Then I said,
Yeah.
well, gosh, I don't know, Connor. I've never thought about it. And he went, well, if it was me, I'd get a little baggie. I get a little Ziploc baggie out, then he could stuff as many of them into the baggie as you want, and you just shove it up there.
So he'd sort of make a nerd's rope out of them, and then...
Do you
Wow.
think this guy also knew the date wasn't going well?
I think
Because
that's
actually a great way to kind of to be. If he's also like, this isn't going well.
No.
He's like,
I
what's
think
the most
he did.
insane thing I can say now?
I did think he liked it because then when I got home, you know how usually you would maybe text the girl, hey, hope you got home safe, or had a great time tonight, something like that.
Well, Thomas wouldn't. He would trust that any independent woman
I'd
would
hope
get home
that
safe
she
on
would
their own.
initiate that conversation.
Yeah, and would assume that in an equal society, she also might be concerned about his well-being.
For once. No, so what he said was, you still thinking about that Skittles question?
Oh. He thought he like heard it from a pickup artist website. Like, ask her something she'll never forget. Then she'll keep thinking about you after the pizza.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Okay.
That's really bad.
At least to that point, the pickup artist was correct. The story has lasted.
Right.
That's fucking crazy.
I
The
mean,
amount of times I've told it.
And
it's
there's
a
almost
great
100% chance that guy's a fan.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see him at my next show. I'll tell you that much. You've given me material for the ages.
Or
And then-
you did eat Skittles at our previous show.
I know. Well, but they weren't going up my butt.
That's true.
Thomas. So no, it's okay. Thank you for apologizing now. And then for this, I know that one's crazy. And then one time I went out with this guy and he was like really horned up, but I never really been on a date with somebody so horny that I kind of was like, this is just interesting to be on. And he was all tuned up and, prancing around the street and walking in front of me, and he's all tuned up, and
tuned up. I thought you said tuned up.
And
I thought
tuned
that
up
tuned
too.
up was a new phrase for bricked up,
Yeah.
but I was like, what a dark way to talk about having an erection.
He's just kind of like a cat in heat or whatever, just like wandering around like insanely.
Okay, wait, hold on. My phone is about to die. Can I just switch my headphones out super quick?
Yes.
Is that going to make a big deal? Because I have to just plug my phone. Okay,
It'll probably be fine.
Hold on. 1 sec.
That was fine. So far, so good.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I can hear myself.
We're going to have to cut this, or everyone's going to enjoy. We don't have time to edit.
This is premium content. This is premium
this
content.
is really good.
No. This
Or
is what they want to see. This is what they want to see.
Yeah.
This is what the people want.
I-
This is what the oops heads want.
This is what they want. This is what your competitors want to see, or they don't. They don't.
This is what
too
Jake
afraid
and
to
Amir are
show.
offering to people. This is what's going on That's Funny.
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
Like this, some phone charging bullshit.
Okay, should I put new headphones on, or should I keep it like this?
It doesn't matter. Whatever you'd like. This works fine.
Thomas doesn't sound weird.
This is good.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so yes, the sky was like a cat in heat, as Thomas put it. And we were walking around the streets of Wrigleyville, the famous hockey stadium. Just kidding. That was just a little joke. I'm just trying to be funny.
Old Chicago. Only the real go-aheads.
You have hockey over there, eh? Wow.
Just like you. And okay, so then we get outside the stadium, and all night he's been like, I'm gonna kiss you. I can't wait to freaking kiss you. And I was like, okay, I can't wait. But like I said, I didn't feel unsafe. It just was like, this guy is weird. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I just was like
horny. All right.
Super horned up. So then he goes, I'm gonna kiss you right here. And I went, okay. And then I kissed him. It was a lovely little kiss, actually. He knows what he's doing. Didn't know a tongue could do that.
Yeah, and so
what it is
and then what's the third story?
Just a story about how you tongued it with a horny dude out in Wrigleyville.
So we come out of the kiss, and it wasn't too bad. And then, but he says, I just got to tell you something. I go, yeah. He goes, I just want you to know. I did heroin one time.
I have to tell you, it's been eating me up inside. Now that we've kissed.
It has to be normal, right? You just have to be normal. That's all you have to do on a date is not say that thing, right? What the fuck?
He said, you know, it was one of those things where you go to a party and everyone's doing it. You know,
shut up. What the fuck?
Who are your friends?
About?
Why do you have heroin addict friends?
And he said, you go to the kitchen, it's just lying on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one needle.
He did one heroin, please.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was funny.
Wow.
Amazing.
And then I'll leave you guys with one more.
Wait. So this is how I'm seeing it. How about let's do our plugs, and then we'll end the show with the final story, because I think that'll be a nice ending.
Good.
For us.
I need to think of a good one. So do your plugs.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you can see me and Laura in Motorcycle Rocketship, a great sketch show in Chicago. We got some dates coming up at the IO in April 3rd and April 17th at 7:30. That's a really good time slot. It's a Friday, so we're going to be busting that out. I'm also in Trigger Happy every Saturday and other things, but that's good. I know that Laura will be continuing to plug her amazing solo show, Halfway to 50, but I'll turn that over to you, Laura.
Oh yeah, so I'm going to be doing the next iteration of my show. So every year as I get older, I add a number. So this year it's Halfway to 55, which the math doesn't math anymore, but I've been doing it for 5 years, which is pretty crazy. So I'm doing a big show at the Annoyance main stage on May 30th at 7:30. Another really good time slot for the girl.
Yes.
So that's going to be great. Come on out. Music, stand-up combined. And it's a super fun show. I promise it's not bad. I'll die on that hill. I promise it's not bad. So yeah, that's the big plug.
That sounds wonderful. That sounds wonderful. You can catch Thomas and I on another podcast called What We Do in the Basement. It's a Let's Play D&D podcast. We're probably about to start recording again and get episodes out soon. It's been going great. We have 80 plus episodes of continuous Dungeons and Dragons comedy content. It's a blast, so check it out if you're interested in hearing more of us do things that are less off the wall but more creative. And you can also check us out on you can see Club Soda is celebrating its 9th birthday. Club Soda Improv in Winnipeg has been around for 9 years. We're having a sleepover themed slumber party from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Gas Station Arts Center on Saturday, March the 28th. I'm trying very hard to will into existence that Club Soda actually has a sleepover at the gas station that night. We will see if that happens.
I would be so fucking jealous if you did that without me. I'd be so sad.
Gas station sleepover. Well,
sounds awesome.
It's happening. We'll see, maybe. And also, you can check us out at the Winnipeg Fringe Festival. I just finished a meeting today, and I can now confirm that Club Soda Improv will be having 2 different shows at the Winnipeg Winnipeg Fringe Festival. The first one is going to be Love is Blank. That will be an improvised version of the dating show Love is Blind, which is a blast. You can check that out at the Gargoyle Theater. We just solidified our time slots for that. It's going to be happening almost every day at the Fringe Festival. And then there's also The Truth is Out There, an improvised X-Files.
Damn, son.
We did that show years ago. It was a great success. We did it once, and we thought we'd bring back the format. So we'll see Skulder and Mully doing an improvised show based on some creepy stories.
You just called them Skulder and Mully.
Skulder and Mully. I'm clearly the one who should be leading the charge.
You are a fraud. All right, we're cutting them out. You're
done.
Ending on that's called, Kevin, a spoonerism.
Oh, interesting. Big spooner or little spoonerism?
I let her decide.
That tracks.
Classic Dallas.
That tracks. Yeah.
Let's close out this episode with Laura's final date story.
Okay. So I was working at the restaurant that I still work at a couple of years ago, and I had a crush on a boy there for a very long time. But he was in a pretty long-term relationship. I thought he's never gonna get out of this relationship. He's clearly with this girl. And I just was like, it was just like that little crush that you have, but you never obviously did anything about it. You're just like, he's cute. Mm-hmm. So then he breaks up with the girl. Ooh. One fateful day. And I remember being like, oh my God. Be still my heart. Maybe someday, once he feels more,
gotta come down from the
down. Oh, for sure. Once he comes down, like maybe we could go. We've always gotten along, but I was like, it's gonna be a sec. So it was, I don't know, like 3 months later, something like that. And we'd been kind of flirting, but like I said, it was not. I was not expecting anything, and I was flirting more than I obviously usually did, because now I was like,
the game is on. As Sherlock Holmes would say.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, well, I'm going to be flirting. But then he finally goes, well, we should hang out. And I was like, oh, really? And he said, yes, we should hang out. But it was like really uncomfortable because he was like asking me out and I was like shutting down because it was like, oh my God, after all these years, here we go. So we go on one day, we go to a magic show. Every girl's dream.
Yes.
And
interesting choice, but all right. Yeah.
Make my
just
interest
like Paris
disappear.
after dark, some would say. So we went to the magic show. Actually had a really nice time. It was kind of a fun activity to do, whatever. Sure. So then we go on a second date. I'm all excited because I was like, that first date went so good. Like clearly I've never been a girl who like, I'm not hooking up on the weekends or anything like that. Like I just would never been. This guy had been my friend too. Like he'd seen the show. I'm very vulnerable in the show of my solo show, being like, this is my experience, and yes, I'm making jokes about it, but it's been a time. So I was like, there's no way he would enter into this thinking that she's just gonna I'm just gonna hook up with her. I was like, clearly
taking it slow. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And I also was like, he's also my friend, and he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't purposely
just want to like,
to me. So we go out on the second day. It's going okay. It's like going fine. And he goes, I'll drive you home. I go, wonderful. So we're walking down these streets of Chicago, and it's dark. And I was kind of like, ooh, this feels like something we should be holding hands, or like, it's that weird moment where you're like, what are we doing? Like, this is like, and I was too nervous to make any sort of move, so I was just kind of waiting. And then there's a sprinkler going off in front on the sidewalk, and I was stopped because I was like, I don't want to go through the sprinkler, let's go around it. He grabs my hand And we run through the sprinkler. And while it's happening, I go, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Because it was just like so dramatic. And I was like,
so cringy.
Yeah.
So cringy. But then we get out of the sprinkler. I go, okay, well, at least we're holding hands.
Yeah.
He drops my hand.
I want to go through it again.
Yeah, and I was like, now what do I do?
He grabs my
and
ass.
Then he kind of, oops, sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Right.
Then he kind of grabs my hips. Not in a. I was fine. But he kind of grabs, kind of trying to be sexy, but it's like,
yeah.
Like, whoa.
Well, you're wet, so he's slippery.
Wet.
It's hard to, because of the sprinkler. Yeah.
Yes. And he kind of grabs my hips, and I went, oh, okay. Because it was so uncomfortable. And then he goes, well, I kind of want to make out. Kind of like that. He said it like that. And I said, okay. And he goes, and that's it.
And don't get any ideas about me.
Don't you?
The hottest thing any guy's ever said, right?
Yeah.
I want to make out.
There.
That's it.
Yeah. And then I kind of went, okay. And I kind of pulled myself out. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, I think you're great, but I kind of just want to make out with you. And that's it. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
That's it.
That's it. And then I said, well, Bob, his name wasn't Bob. I'm making it up. I went, Bob, I don't want, I said, I've had a crush on you for so long. I don't want to just make out with you and that's it. He goes, oh, well, that's kind of what I want to do. And I went, ugh. And then we just kind of sat there. And then I was like, okay, well, you said you would drive me home. So he drives me home. And then he's like, can you help me out with my dating profile? And I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah. So it turns out there was one other thing he wanted, not just making out, but also.
So I helped him with a couple prompts, kind of tightened him, and gave him some fun.
Punch up on
my hard and then help me out on Tinder.
Yeah.
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 And then he ended up quitting at the restaurant just weeks later because he couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand being near me.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Feminist alert.
Yeah,
that is respectful actually to give you back the space because he made it uncomfortable. So I think
he did it. He totally did it to himself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then I called him Satan in my show. I made a whole bit about him, and he found out. And I guess he didn't like it, but c'est la vie.
Well, there's good news. There's no fucking way he's ever listening to this.
No,
So
no, he's not going to listen to this one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Although the heroin guy, I told the heroin story on another podcast, and that guy ended up finding it and liking it.
Oh no, maybe. Yeah, I guess we don't know how devoted
this is great. We'll have another fan.
I know. So good to see you guys. To all my boys I talked about, if they're watching right now, so good to talk to you about you guys. And I'm doing much better. I'm so happy you're not here anymore.
Right before we started this podcast, I found out one of my ex-girlfriends was pregnant because it came up in my recommended scroll. I was doom scrolling briefly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I found out that one of my ex-girlfriends is having a baby. And that was interesting. So I feel
super interesting.
Yeah. Shout out to her, I guess.
Shout out to her.
Yeah. And
she's gonna make a hell of a mom.
She broke up with me because she told me that she didn't think that God thought we should be together.
And he would know.
He would.
Yeah, he's
he would.
Sort of the authority.
I've heard God is kind of a son of a bitch, so I wouldn't let it. I wouldn't let it get to you.
As we said when we invited Laura onto the podcast, we're going to do 2 segments, and that's it.